Before we start creating Python programs, we need to install or set up few things in our computer. The first thing we need is the actual Python 3 installation if we don't have it in the computer already. I'll show how to check if we have the installation already. If not, we have to install that. And the second thing we need is something called IDE. It stands for Integrated Development Environment. What that is an application that lets you code your programs, run them, see the output. If there are problems, debug it. IDEs help do everything in a single interface, which is very helpful because then we can just focus on the process of programming instead of shifting here and there. So IDEs are very helpful. IDEs are pretty much used across the industry in all the companies. So if your main purpose is to learn the language in order to be able to use it at work or get a job, then learning at least one IDE is definitely beneficial. But you don't really need an IDE. You can use any standard text editor that's available. But IDEs are definitely helpful, and we're going to use that in this course. The IDE that we're going to use is Sublime Text, and there's the link to the site where we can download it. But there are other popular IDEs out there, Visual Studio Code, Atom, or just few. There are many popular IDEs out there where you can code programs in Python. In this course, we're going to use Sublime Text. So python.org is where we will go to download Python if it's not in the computer. Now to check if it's already installed, go to terminal if you're using Mac. If not, you can go to your command prompt in Windows and just check if Python is installed. So you can either type Python or Python 3. If I run Python, I get this back, but you see the version is Python 2.7.10, which we don't need. So Mac comes with Python installation, and the Mac that I bought came with Python 2 version, since it was way back. Now we wouldn't be using this, so I'm just going to exit. Don't worry about the syntax and everything, we'll get to this, but I'm just showing how to find out if Python is already installed. Now if I type Python 3, so I have Python already installed, the Python 3 version, and I just invoke it by typing Python 3 instead of Python. So you can try this to see if it's already installed. And if you're using Mac or Linux, you can also do which Python or Python 3, and it'll actually show you where the installation is. Now, if you know for sure that you don't have Python in your computer, or you checked and you couldn't find it, then you can go to this python3.org, python.org, go to downloads, and you can download the latest version that's there. Don't worry about the minor versions. As long as it's 3, it's good for this course. There are older versions available here, but we're not going to download them. I'm just going to show. So 2.7.15 was the last version 2 available. After that, there was no further development because 3 is the future. So just download whatever's up there and complete your installation, Mac or Windows, it doesn't matter. Now, once that's done, the next link that we had is Sublime Text. So go to sublimetext.com, download for Mac if you're using Mac or Windows, and install that. The installation process is pretty standard. There's nothing special. Now, once that's installed, there is some minor setup that you need to do for Sublime Text. So you should be able to launch Sublime Text once it's installed. Don't worry about all these. Now, there's something called the build system. So if you come here, it will have automatic for you. That is when Sublime Text automatically chooses a build system. Now, if you're installing Python 3, or if you have Python 2 and 3 installed, you have to tell Sublime Text to use 3. That's when you create a new build system. Just click this, and then you will get something like this. Delete everything here. And then I'm going to show you what to actually type in there. So if you type this up in here, in the new file that you created, you can pause the video to grasp this, or I'll put it in the repository in Git. But this is what you need to type to tell Sublime Text where Python 3 is installed. So in my machine, it's installed here. So I have that. But in your computer, wherever it's installed, make sure you give that path and save it as anything. I call it Python 3. You can call it the same, Python 3.sublime-build. That's the name you need to follow. Now, once you save it, I'm going to close it all. I don't need it. If you go to build system, then you will see that name, right? So I already have the file, which is why I'm seeing Python 3. So whatever you saved it as, it will automatically show here, and make sure you select that. At which point, if you go to build system, now you know it's using 3. So anytime you run a Python program, Sublime Text will always use that Python 3 from the path that you gave to run the program. And that's the only setup that you need. And from the next video, we're going to actually start seeing some Python code and run them.